Well, let's see. I guess I'll start from when I was a kid. This will be more than one video. I'll do several parts probably. I've been told since I was a kid that I should write a book about my life because it's been pretty fucked up. Apparently, when I was a kid, I was the product of a rape. And for everybody's information, the noise that you hear is it's in Japan schools, depending on what you want your child to do, they have different activities that you can go into. And the school that's right by my house, that's literally about 75 yards from my house, is a school where all the boys learn Aikido. So they're in there right now smashing things on the ground and making noises. So that's what that is that you hear. Yeah, so apparently I was the product of a rape. My mother never took care of me. And boyfriends took care of me. And she never fed me, never changed my diapers, never held me. And at the age of 2.5, she put me in a hot bathtub and burned me, and I got third-degree burns and was in Children's Hospital in Denver for 6 months, where I almost died 3 times. She tried to visit the hospital and told them that it was an accident and that she didn't mean to, and I did it myself. And when she finally actually was able to see me, she tried to take me out of the hospital, so they had to remove her with the police. And when they finally put me back with her, I couldn't walk because I was burned, and I ended up with both feet being burned, 3rd degree, and one of my hands. So if you see here, I'll put my palms together. You can see one of my hands is shorter, and you can see how it looks all old. It's looked like that my whole life, you know. The other one looks like this, you know. See, it's a difference, you know. Yeah, looks like 2 different people's hands there, huh? See? So my feet look like that as well. I was once told by a doctor, actually my parents were told by the doctor when I was 14 that I was on the operating table more times at 14 than a 75-year-old man. So, continuing on, at about 3.5 or 4, my mother beat me so bad that I needed to have a hernia surgery. And after that, I ended up going back with her again. They put me back with her. In between the time of that and me being moved to foster care, she took me to a foster home and tried to get rid of me. And they gave me back. I don't know why, but I was almost 5 at the time. Eventually, because of things that I won't say here, she had me taken from her, and they wanted to take my brother as well, who was older than me, and she hid him in the bedroom. She had a waterbed, and she hid him in the bedroom underneath the headboard. If you know anything about like old waterbeds from the 70s and 80s when they were popular, usually there's a headboard on them, and there's a box, you know, with drawers underneath and stuff, and there's an opening that's kind of like this in the back behind the bed, and that's where he hid, and they came and got me. And that was the last time I seen my mom. I was 5, and I was put into foster care, and they used me I think they thought because of the childhood that I had that I wouldn't have much of a life, and this was in the 70s, so they tried to use me to shut down foster care facilities, and they would put me in homes that they knew or had suspected that was abusive, sexually, physically, and they would have me there for a week or two, and then I would be abused. They would take me out and check to see what was abused. They would ask me questions, and then they would shut the facility down, and in some cases press charges. And within the age of 5 till 7, I was in 42 foster homes, and 41 of them were abusive. At age 6 3/4, basically around Christmas time, 2 people came to a foster home that I'd been at for 6 months, the last one I was in, and they adopted me. And I was pretty bad at the time because the home before that was very abusive, and I was adopted out of that home to a family known as the Zinks. I still remember their name, and I was only 6, so I'm a little bit resentful. But the reason why they took me back to the home is the father wanted a son, and if you're watching this, you know that wasn't possible in the first place. But the father wanted a son, and he put me in Little League, and he got me a uniform, and they had another younger child, very young child. I think, if I remember right, they were like 2, 3, something like that. They just wanted to adopt somebody, so I was a cute kid, blonde hair, and really cute. So they decided to adopt me, and they had to take me to Children's Hospital all the time for therapy, to learn how to walk again and to learn movement and things, because I was still having issues from being beaten and burned, and I still needed many surgeries for skin grafts, and I'm very self-conscious of my body. I always have been, because of not only being transgender, but also because of scars. I have lots of scars, lots of cuts, lots of wounds, lots of scars from surgeries, and I just never liked it. Because of this hand, I would always keep it in my pocket, and I don't like to shake people's hands. I got better with that later in life, but at a very young age, at swimming pools and things like that, people would ask me, like, what, kids especially, I became very violent, and I got tired of explaining what was wrong with my hand and what was wrong with my feet, and I began to be just violent, and was moved from many schools. And when I came to live with my parents, my adopted parents, I was already feeling like the body I was born in wasn't me. I don't think it had anything to do with everything that I'd went through, including one of my first sexual experiences, which was with my mother while she was on her period. I think it's hard for people to understand, like, those things don't reinforce transgender. They don't make you be transgender. That would have happened either way. Once I was adopted, I was put into lots of psychology. I was doing therapy, mental therapy, and physical therapy till I was 18. was put into 5 different mental facilities, and I never talked about this because this is something I didn't feel you could talk about, especially in the 80s and 90s. I attempted suicide 7 times in my life. I lived here from 2000 to 2009 in Kobe, Japan. And in Japan, I attempted suicide once with my old wife that I had here, and 2 more times with the last wife I had. The first time I tried to asphyxiate myself in the car with the gas or whatever, the carbon monoxide. And the last time, my wife had panic attacks, and she had some very strong medication and several, a big box of like lots of old medications, and some of it was really strong, and she had told me that. And I took 117 or something pills, and I crushed them and put them into a water glass and drank it, because I thought if it was crushed that it would affect me much quicker. And she had told me that the strong medication that I had taken can cause your heart to stop. So I was hoping that that would be the case. And as I said, nobody knew why that was. So, yeah, the first time I think I shut down being transgender, and it was when I was almost caught. I was always into girly things when I was a kid, and I always knew that everybody thought that that was wrong and that you shouldn't do that. So I didn't really care too much. And one time I was home. We had moved from Colorado to Nebraska. My adopted father's mother had died in Colorado, and his family moved to Nebraska. And my family also then moved about 1.5 years, 2 years later. And when I was there, we moved into their house until we found our own house. And I had a bed upstairs, and I had a cousin that lived there, a girl. And I was always wearing her clothing. And I was bored, and I was upstairs masturbating, as you do when you're 14. And my mother came upstairs and found me, and asked me what I was doing. And I was in bed. It was like, I don't know, it was in the afternoon, so I shouldn't have been in bed, but I told her I was tired and blah blah blah, and she put 2 and 2 together and kind of figured out what I was doing. And she didn't say it, but she was asking me questions and stuff like that. And I finally just like let it go and just decided I was gonna be found out and come out right there. So at that time I had a nightgown or not nightgown, but what do you call it? Like I don't know, like a thing that you go to bed in, and it was a martial arts gi. And I was wearing that, so I just, and I closed it, I was like this when she was there, and I just dropped my arms to my side and thought I was waiting for her to say something, and she didn't. And she went downstairs and she told my cousins and stuff that I was up there masturbating. And then for, the next 6 months or a year or even more, they would make fun of me for doing something that everybody does, But what she didn't notice is that I actually had a bra and panties on from my cousin. And that's the last time I dressed up as a woman, and the last time I really did anything or thought about it. I mean, I thought about it every day, obviously, but that was the last time I kind of you know, did anything. And a lot of people that aren't transgender don't understand. It's like I've always my whole life wanted to wear women's things. I've been attracted to women's things. I love hot pink, things like that. And when you go into stores and stuff and you see like shoes and you want your girlfriend or your wife to buy those, you're like, wow, you'd look good in those. Really, I was just wanting to wear them myself. You know, is basically what it was. I wanted to wear them, so yeah. And I think knowing that, you kind of every time you see something that you really think is cool, it's really hard to live with. That every time you see something that you think like, wow, that's really neat, you, in the back of your mind, immediately you're like, oh, but that's for a girl. You can't have that. That's not guy stuff. You gotta, you know, you can't wear that. And then if you get something like that, like I like to wear a lot of pink. I always have people mistakenly thinking I'm gay, you know, because I wear pink. I have 3 bikes and all of them are really, really hot pink. And in the 80s, I was part of a freestyle bike team in Nebraska. And I rode for GT and Haro. And I rode a GT Pro Tour Team Style, Pro Freestyle Tour Team model that was hot pink. And I really loved that bike, you know. So that was one of my first things, and my parents actually bought that for me. And hot pink was cool back then, and I was able to get away with it because lots of guys wore pink in the 80s. So I was able to like just wear hot pink, which I like hot pink. I'm not really into girly pink as much. I like really hot, like bright pink. But I've also in the last I don't know, 10, 15 years gotten into like dubstep and you know, really cool Blade Runner and Matrix stuff and stuff like that. And I really want to be like a cyberpunk with like pink dreads and you know, I'm really into like Lana Wachowski and people like that, you know. They're really my heroes, you know. Laura Jane Grace, you know. Princess Jules, you know. More recently, the Kardashians' father, you know, Bruce Jenner. So, Adeline Fox, you know, people like that really make it easy to come out, you know, because you start to see that it's possible, you know, that it's accepted. That if you find the right friends, which I've never had friends my whole life, that you could actually maybe exist, or people will act like you exist, you know. So, yeah. I guess I'll end this video here. I don't want it to be too long, and there'll be a part, you know, 100,000 or something. But you guys will go through my journey with me here. I'm not on HRT right now, so this is the way I look. And as I go along and I get my hair done and I get, you know, start wearing makeup and get rid of all my male clothes and get female clothes, or at least androgynous clothes, maybe you know, I'll start looking better. I just, you know, like I said on my Facebook, my entire life, I think I only have, I don't even own any pictures besides what's on Facebook, and I've always taken pictures of things I own, but not many pictures of me. So since the age of 0 until now, I've probably taken less than 100 photos of myself, just because I don't, this isn't me. And I hope to get on HRT quick, and maybe within 6 months or a year, maybe I'll be better. I don't know, maybe. I've been struggling with depression my entire life. I have PTSD. I'm a manic depressive. I have post-traumatic stress disorder. So I used to be on meds for that when I was younger. You know, it is what it is. I deal with it. So, I'm gonna end this video here. This is the start of my transgender journey, so everybody will be going there with me. So, you know, if you like this video, subscribe, and I'll keep you updated with what goes on, and tell you everything that happens. I'm 42, so I'm transitioning late in life, so if you're into that, you want to know what's up with that, or what medicines I take, because I know nothing about any of it, and I have lots of transgender friends that are helping me, so I'm hoping I'll be able to find out all that stuff. So share, like, and subscribe. Thanks.